The official name of this foundation is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect 24-Hour Multi-Use Foundation Stick. Like, these names are just out of control, but that's the official name. Okay, I don't know why I'm so irritated by this. I don't know. It's just, I really did not want to like this foundation. I wanted to hate this foundation. But I gotta say, Christian Dior really knocked it out of the ballpark with this stick foundation. If you're over 40, over 45, 50, you've been looking for something that is going to last on your skin, not look dry, not look matte, actually hydrate, stay put, cover without looking masky, this is it. This is it. And again, I'm irritated because this baby retails for $52 US, okay? That's why I'm a little irritated. But this stuff, let me tell you all about it. So I have been using this foundation for a little over a month, and I have some things to say about it. Now, first off, if you've watched this channel for even 1 or 2 videos, you know that I've been an esthetician for over 20 years. I'm really into simplicity. I'm into making things not complicated. I'm into telling you guys that you don't have to go out, run out and buy the most expensive things, that there are wonderful things at budget price points that are fantastic. You don't have to buy into the latest and greatest type of drama that's everywhere in the beauty community. So based on just how expensive something like this was, I was really hesitant to even talk about it with you. And I'm always a little bit skeptical, especially when something is being overly hyped and pushed and presented in videos by influencers and different things. That's not what this channel is about. If something is really hyped, I'm a little hesitant. But here's the deal. I was looking for a really nice stick foundation. I love cream and stick foundations. I have forever. If you know anything about the way makeup artists work, what they have in their kits, they usually have makeup like airbrush foundations or they have cream foundations. And creams are very versatile. You can sheer them out to make them look super skin-like. You can build it to a medium or even a full coverage. And if you apply them correctly, they can still look really beautiful, just like skin. I'm always on the lookout for beautiful cream foundations, nice price points, things that aren't too crazy expensive. And I had been in the market for a really good stick foundation for a while because I've been doing a lot of traveling. So I just really like traveling light. And I like multi-purpose products, simple products. And I was in the market for a stick foundation. Came across this baby and the reviews were really good. And they were thoughtful reviews. They were reviews that were written by women over 40, a lot of them talking about how they really felt like this foundation was ideal for mature skin. So let me grab my glasses here and I will tell you a little bit about this foundation. I'm pulling this off of the Sephora website. The official name of this foundation is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect 24-Hour Multi-Use Foundation Stick. Like, these names are just out of control. But that's the official name, and it retails for $52. Now, there are 974 reviews on this foundation as of this filming, and it's pretty much like 4.6 out of 5. That is pretty highly rated. And again, going through these reviews, very positive, seems tailored for mature skin. And as an esthetician, I'm constantly looking at ingredients for foundations, and I did find this one to be packed with a lot of skin-friendly oils. Among them, rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, camellia, savata seed oil, just wonderful hydrating ingredients that are really going to provide skin care-like benefits with makeup, which is what I really love. The color selection also seems fairly decent. And this is what Dior has to say about this foundation according to the Sephora website. It's a multi-use foundation stick for a natural blurred finish with up to 24 hours of wear and all-day hydration. The finish is natural, obviously a stick formulation, and it's a buildable foundation stick, glides on smoothly, evening out your complexion and eliminating imperfections in a single swipe. They say it's heat and humidity resistant, it has a blurring filter effect, and can be used as a foundation or a concealer or as a touch-up on the go. Apparently, in some tests that they performed on 25 subjects, it provided 24 hours of wear, and on 33 subjects, it provided all-day hydration. These clinical results, to me, the reason why I really don't go for or care for that type of stuff is, okay, they tested on 25 people, but 25 out of, like, why just 25? Like, why didn't they say on 25 out of 30? So anyway, that's the information on the website or on Sephora.com about this foundation. So like I said, I've been using this baby for a little over a month. And when I purchased it, I also purchased alongside of the foundation, the bronzer / contour stick. Contour stick is also an absolute gem. And that's where I really think that they both shine. When used together as a duo, it's chef's kiss. It really is. It's so beautiful. Let me give you a little information about the contour stick. So again, according to the Sephora website, this is the Forever 24-Hour Skin Contour Stick Sculpting and Bronzing Face Stick. It retails for $47, and there are 4 colors in this product ranging from light to deep. Now, according to the company, it is a hydrating contour stick, and it blends effortlessly, enhancing your complexion with a natural-looking sculpted bronze effect for up to 24 hours. The coverage is medium, which would make sense because it's a contour bronzing product. It's going to be a little bit more opaque. So the coverage is medium. It's a natural stick, obviously, formulation. It's creamy, hydrating, long wearing. It supposedly gives you a natural sculpted effect in one step. It can warm your complexion. It can highlight shadowy areas and will lend striking definition to your facial contours for a customized look that withstands heat and humidity. And they go into the clinical results stuff again, but I'm not going to bother going there. Again, in the ingredients, wonderful, buttery, skin-friendly, and loving oils, which lend to the skincare effect of this formula. So when taken together, it's a really beautiful, killer combination, especially for mature skin over 40. I'm 50. I absolutely just fell in love with these 2 products on my skin. I am wearing it now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in to this video, just a little explanation and a kind of show and tell how I use it, how I apply it. I prefer with this particular foundation and contour bronzing stick, I prefer to use my fingers. Not to say that you couldn't use a brush if you want to, not to say you couldn't use a makeup sponge like a dampened beauty blender. I find that my fingers give me the best control with this product. I find that it warms up the makeup into the skin a lot better, just melts it into the skin a lot easier. And really, this stuff is like butter when you blend it in with your fingers. It's really unlike any other stick foundation I have ever tried, in that really does feel very silky. And videos that I've watched about these products, the people talking about it, they always say it feels like butter, but it really does. It feels like you are just stroking melted butter onto your face. It's incredible. If you are similar in hair color and skin tone, like if you're like me, my foundation color was 2N, 2 neutral, and the contour bronzing stick that I got was in light. You watched my second to last video when I was giving you my tips and things that I do as a 50-year-old woman in my makeup routine to simplify, meaning I use less and get better results rather than using more products. And one of the things I was talking about in that video was how I don't like to use a separate concealer product. I don't like to use under eye concealers. I don't like to use face concealers and a foundation, whether it's a tinted moisturizer that I'm using that day, or a serum skin oil, a serum foundation, or a regular kind of medium to light foundation. Whatever it is, my point is that I don't like to have to do additional concealers on top of that. And that also really drew me to this product, because the way that they were marketing it was that it could be like a 3-in-1. It could be your foundation, it can be your concealer, and it can also be a touch-up something that you can just throw into your bag. And I have to say, even though I probably wouldn't touch up with this because I really don't do that during the day, if you had a particularly long day and you did throw this in your bag and say you were going out after work or after a long day, you were out and you wanted to touch up because say you were doing something, you could do it. And the texture of it is still so beautiful that it wouldn't build up and look cakey and gross. So I basically applied this all over lightly as my foundation with my fingers. And then I just basically went in and just spot applied where I needed it, under my eyes and on my face. And it performed beautifully. I do want to touch on one thing with this contour stick is it claims to be a bronzing kind of warming up stick as well as a contour, which is supposed to give you a little bit of shadow and depth on the face. Traditionally, contours are supposed to be gray in tone. That is what they're supposed to do. Contours are not bronzers. Contours are designed to create a shadow effect on the face. You can't do that with a warm color. Traditionally, like professional makeup artists would never use a warm bronze tone color that, say, has an orange or a red base in it to shadow the face, if that makes sense. Shadows are gray, and so contours are traditionally a gray color. Now, this one is touted as both a bronzer and a contour, and it is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the light color that I purchased. And when I first looked at it, I was a little bit perplexed because unlike any other product that I've ever come across, it really, to me, is a combination of a gray and a warm tone. It is unlike anything that I have used before. And it really does act as a shadow and a bronze kind of warmer all in one. And I have not reached for another bronzer in my collection, whether it's cream or powder, since I started using this. Now, if I've already lost you and I just want the foundation, why would I want something like this? If you've never bronzed your face up, if you've never contoured your face, I can understand your trepidation. I will link a popular tutorial that I have on my channel that is all about giving yourself like a kind of like a sun flushed kind of bronzy look. That can also give you a little bit of background to maybe want to try a look like that. But what I will say is if you are scared of bronzing and contour products and you think that you cannot get the hang of them or you've tried them in the past and they just never looked right, I don't want you to be afraid of a bronzer / contour product. When you get over a certain age, it's really going to bring life and dimension to your face. And you can actually get away with less foundation if you use something like this. You can even get away with using less blush if you use something like this. And you're not going to look like the crazy contour Kardashian type of look. Like, that's not what we're talking about. The contour bronzing stick comes in 4 shades, and I'm not quite sure how many shades this one comes in, but the shade range looks fairly decent. So just check it out. And if you have a Sephora near you and you're able to try this in store, I would recommend it. The shades are very nuanced. For example, 1.5N, I could have gone for that, but I just chose 2N because we were still in the tail end of summer and I was self-tanning. But I have a feeling that the shades are very forgiving. So even if, for example, you went a touch light or a touch too dark, you would still be okay. But for all intents and purposes, if you want to know my colors, they were 2N for the foundation and light for the bronzer contour stick. Now, I applied this foundation around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I also did 7 hours later a check-in so you could see how the foundation was looking, how it was performing, how I felt about it. So that's right here. So this is a 7-hour check-in. I applied the Dior Stick Foundation around 10 o'clock this morning. It's a little bit after 5. I'm going to take my kids and my mom to the movies, but I just wanted to check in really quick. This is how it looks. I have not used blotting papers. I have not used powder. Everything is looking really pristine, really pretty. There's no breakup on my nose or in the center of my forehead that I sometimes get with some foundations. There's no texture. Everything is just looking really pretty. If you're oily, I can't guarantee that you probably won't have to maybe blot or touch up a little bit. But for a lot of you that are really oily, and like, for example, myself, when I used to be really oily, That's just the name of the game. That's not really a deal breaker. If you're dry, normal to combo like me, I really think you're going to like this, you guys. It is really pretty. So this is how it looks in natural daylight. I am loving it. 7-hour check-in. When we got back home from the movies, it still looked beautiful almost 11 hours later. So who might want to try this foundation and this contour bronzer stick? If you have been in the market for something that is natural and beautiful and skin-like, but also long wearing, that doesn't look overly matte, that doesn't make your mature skin look textured or like it's got heavy makeup on, you, I think, would really love these. You saw how I applied it with clean fingers. The warmth of my fingers really melts this foundation into the skin. I like a lighter coverage, but with this, I still got coverage, but you could still see my skin. It wasn't overly matte. It wasn't overly opaque and heavy. Could you apply a little bit more and get a medium to fuller coverage? Absolutely. So that's why I really love this. I really feel like you can get a light to a medium to even a full coverage with this foundation. And paired with the contour bronzer stick, you're adding warmth and life into your skin as well without feeling like you're piling on the product. This is marketed as being a foundation, or it can be a concealer, or it can be a touch-up product. Now, I really don't think I would use it as a touch-up product, but you definitely can. Don't think it would be overly heavy or look textured even if you were to apply it on an hours-old application. I don't like separate concealing products. I feel like an eye concealer and a face concealer on top of a foundation was just adding weight and texture and making me look more overly made up, and everything just looked more heavy. So with this product, as you saw in the application, I was showing you how I lightly went underneath my eyes where I needed extra brightening, and also on my face where I needed just a little bit of extra concealing, and it worked beautifully. So you don't have to reach for a separate concealer product when you use this. That's why I loved it. I also found that the formula had lots of wonderful skin oils in it. It wasn't overly greasy, but it felt like skincare, and it played well with the serums that I was using. It played well with that Ilia skincare primer, and also with one of my favorite SPFs from Naked Sunday, which is the SPF 50 Collagen SPF. It played beautifully under that. I've tried these two with just setting sprays to set them, and it worked beautifully. I used one of my favorite Revlon Blot Matte powders with it, as well as a setting spray and my SPF touch-up spray. It worked beautifully that way. I've used it with just powder alone, and it worked beautifully with that. There's so many ways that you can set this, and I think still preserve that beautiful soft skin-like finish without it looking heavy and masky. If you are overly dry, you might not need to use anything to set this product. It is a little bit self-setting. Myself, I'm a little bit more of a normal to combination oily skin zone person. So I do need a little bit of powder to go ahead and set that, but it still looked natural. It still looked skin-like and really pretty. Now, let's just call it for what it is. I know that these are a little bit pricey. $52 for a foundation and $47 for a bronzer contour stick might be cost prohibitive for you. If that's the case and you can only spring for one, I would definitely say go for the foundation. Now, if you've watched my channel for even one video, you know that I'm all about simplicity. I'm all about being no nonsense. I'm not just showing you these products just because they're all over YouTube being reviewed and it's trendy and it's a hyped up product and I just want to get in on it. I'm showing you this because I really think that it could be of value to you if you are over 40, over 45, 50 plus. You've been struggling to try to find something that lasts long, that withstands heat and humidity, and still looks soft and natural and skin-like and doesn't look overly matte and heavy. These both are a gem together, and they offer something special. Really easy to travel with, multi-purpose. They really are worth checking out, especially if you've tried a lot of stuff in the past and you've been wasting a lot of money trying different foundations. Personally, I love stick foundations. I love cream foundations, and I really think that these are worth looking into. And if you're over 40 and you need help with your foundation routine, you're in luck because I actually created an entire guide for how to choose and apply foundation over 40. I know it's a struggle. I've actually worked as a makeup artist for brands like Bobbi Brown, IT Cosmetics, and Laura Mercier. And we used to go around as part of regional makeup artist teams and just do in-store events with women putting on makeup. And the average client that was booked for these events was over 40. So even when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was putting makeup on women 40 and over. And I would listen over and over to all of their complaints with foundation, because foundation is a really tricky product to get right after a certain age. Past a certain age, there really is like a delicate art to how to choose your foundation and wear your foundation and make it last, but still look pretty and skin-like. So in this guide, I go into all of it, the different formulas and foundations that I have found work best for the over 40 woman, how to choose them, how to choose your colors, how to apply it, and how to apply it so that it will last. And also in this guide, I give you all of my personal tried and true recommendations, products that I have found that perform over and over again for my clients, things that I have stocked personally in my own professional makeup artist kit over the years when I worked on brides and just all the things. It's even a great guide for you if you are over 40 and have never really worn makeup before, and now you're like, I really need to start wearing makeup. What do I do? Help me. So go check it out in the description. I loved making it for you. Hey, sorry about that. My camera battery decided to die on me at the very end of the video, but at least it happened at the end, right? So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, God bless, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.